Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willowbound Journals, and today I have a Journal With Me episode working in my yearly journal. So this is my Cinderella journal that I made out of a little golden book, and I have been filling it up with my memories from 2025. And basically it's a place where I can put all my photos from the year, as well as stick in any everyday ephemera that I pick up. And I pretty much just write a list of what I did each day. Some days I forget. I have gotten into a bit of a routine where I usually journal in this journal about once a week, and so sometimes I do forget. If it's been a few days or even a week, I forget what I did a week ago. But that's okay. This is a journal really where I want to focus mostly on the milestones and the things that I want to definitely remember. So for example, I adopted a meerkat this year, which is so cute. Whenever I see their picture, I just think they're adorable. I published my book, the Australian version, so I've got lots of photos for that. Here I'm sticking in a flyer for my local library. They had an expo recently. And yeah, so the first thing that I'm actually documenting in this session is that expo. And I have a few photos from it that I printed out on my Canon selfie. And yeah, I've got a lot of photos actually that I printed out, and I'll chat about the other ones later on when I get to those ones. So I will be journaling about a few different things in this session. And I had the amazing privilege of being invited by one of the librarians to be an artist in residence at the library. And so for a couple hours I went in and they had set up a table for me where they printed out a sign and displayed my books, The Art of Mental Health and A Lamp in Dark Places. And they are available in my Etsy, and Lamp in Dark Places is also available on Blurb. So if you're interested in any of those books, feel free to just check the description box below for the links where you can check those out. And along with my books displayed, I brought in a range of my journals, just to show people, what you can make. So I brought in different types of covers and different ways of journaling. So I brought in one of my Daphne's Diary journals. I brought in one of my altered book journals and things like that. So people could kind of flip through and get a sense of what you can do, what kind of journals that you can make. There's a journal for everyone, I say, and there's a style for everyone. And yeah, I was a little bit nervous before going. I didn't get much of a good night's sleep the night before because I was a little bit anxious about it. But it all went well. I had some lovely ladies join me and help me out, and I was super thankful for them. And yeah, they set me up with some magazines and some papers. I brought in my own binding tools, and yeah, I was thinking it was just going to be me sort of doing a couple hours of work at the library and sort of showing what I do in a day's work. But yeah, everyone just wanted to make their own journals, which was really fun. So it was, I think there were 5 or so kids, 6 or so kids that made a journal, and a couple adults also made some journals. And yeah, it was really fun seeing them choose pages from the magazines that spoke to them. They had fun ripping those out and then folding them in half, and then we placed some different coloured papers in between the pages for some writing space, and just some really simple basic journals that they then got to take home. And then they've learnt the skill of how to make a journal now, so that they can go home and use their own papers and things that they collect. And one family, they were saying that they were going to, I think it was Japan soon for a holiday or a trip, and they were going to make their own journal to document their trip to Japan, which I thought was really fun. So here on this page, I'm just now gluing on the photos from the expo. Got some good action shots and some photos of the table set up. And I just stuck on that library sticker. They had a lot of different stickers and bookmarks, flyers, brochures, and promotional material at the expo. So I just picked up a few different things and knew that I would use them to add to my journal. And I really loved that colour of that large sticker and just folded it over the page as well. And they kindly gave me a book bag. They were giving out lots of prizes and doing raffles the whole way through the day. But so kindly, because I was an artist in residence, they gave me one of their book bags just to say thank you. And it was a gorgeous bag, and I was really happy with the bag because I have a friend who was telling me, she also works there as a librarian, that she really wanted one bag in particular. But you have to, I was asking like, oh, does that mean you get to just keep it if there's any left over? She's like, no, they go to the other libraries if there's any left over. And so when I got the bag, I showed it to her and I was like, was this the bag that you were wanting? And she said yes. And I was like, oh, awesome, here you go. And that was really great that I was able to give her this bag that she really, really wanted. And she was like, don't you want to have it? And honestly, I have a million bags. I have so many bags. I've got these 2 nails that are hammered into one of my bedroom walls, and there's so many bags hanging from them. I use them all. I've got one for my ballet bag that I take to ballet. I've got one for my shower bag. I've got one for my laundry bag. I've got one for my post packages, and I've got one for taking things out and about, of course. I've got my handbag, and I've got more than that even. So it's actually quite ridiculous how many bags I have accumulated over the years. So it was just, I loved how that worked out. It just worked out really well that she was able to get the bag that she wanted, because they had other bags too, and it just so happened that they gave me the one that she wanted. And I was like, oh, there's a little God moment right there. So that was fantastic. So I was going to take some video footage so I could share that on my channel, and even the librarian was like, take some video footage. And I completely forgot. Like, it was so busy. As soon as I sat down at the table, there were kids there wanting to make journals, and it was pretty non-stop, which was amazing. And I had some other friends join me throughout the day and sit and chat with me. So it was constantly just kind of go, and it was really, really fun in the end. My nervousness didn't need to be there because it ended up being really fun, and I even stayed a bit longer than I was expecting to, just because I was having so much fun. And super thankful to my librarian friends for making that happen, and for my friends showing up and supporting me as well, and helping me with my nerves and helping out with the kids and making journals and everything. It was just really, really lovely and a new experience. Never done an artist in residence before. So over here, the next thing that I am journaling about is a couple of photo shoots. So I'm excited to let you know that for my next book that I am working on, which is a sequel to Lamp in Dark Places, I have a lovely photographer for. So I pretty much did all of my own creative self-portraits and all my own photography for Lamp in Dark Places, and it's just been really nice to when you have to do it yourself, you don't have as much freedom in what kind of shots you get. So having a photographer really allows, distance shots, for example. And it just helps me because I just turn up. And when I used to have to do my own photos, I would take like 100 shots of one thing, trying to get all the details just right. But because I can't see it as I'm taking the photo, because I've got the timer on, it just took forever to get the exact right shot. So this way it's just been really, really lovely. We did a test shoot 1 week first where we went to a beach called King's Beach, and we just went after ballet one day. So she does ballet with me as well. And yeah, so we were in our ballet costume, our ballet gear or ballet uniform. So we did a bit of a ballet photo shoot at the beach, which was really, really cool. And yes, and she just did it on my phone, my camera phone, and she was saying like, "Oh, I hate these shots," because she has her proper, proper camera with the lens and all that kind of thing, and the attachments. But yeah, I was really happy with them. I really liked them, and some of them will appear in my next book. Anyway, so a week later, we went on a proper photo shoot. She brought her proper camera, and we went to a couple different locations. We went back to Kings Beach, and we also went to Murray Bay, and she has all these locations that she knows where she wants to take photos, so she kind of just took me around to different places as well. And yeah, it's a bit of a combination. Like, I had an idea of some of the shots that I wanted taken, some of the different positions, and she also had some really, really cool ideas of what to do. So yeah, it worked really well, collaborating, and I'm very excited to work with her. And I was like, "You're going to have a headshot in my book." We're going to turn the camera around on her because we're going to put a headshot of her and a bio in my book. So she's going to be my official photographer for my book. And if you're wondering, or if you wanted to know, I don't know, I did post some photos of that photo shoot on my Instagram, both on Willowbound Journals, my business Instagram page, and I also have a personal Instagram page. So just wanted to give her a shout out and promote her. She has an Instagram page, so I linked her, or I'm not sure you call it on on Instagram. But so yeah, if you check out those posts, you can click that and you will be able to see her Instagram page and her other shots. So she wants to build up her portfolio. She would like to be a photographer and just getting into it. So yeah, I'm happy to collaborate with her. And of course, it kind of helps, like, she does ballet with me, so she kind of knows the positions and everything too. And it was just really, really fun. We did a bit of rock climbing to get to some of the locations. And one of my favourite shots was the last photo of the day, where I just sat on a rock. And we had all these other posed shots, but my favorite one ended up being just the one where I'm sitting on a rock looking into the distance. And that's kind of what I want. I want a mix of styled shots, but I think my favorite shots are just the real candid ones, the ones that are more reflective of real life rather than posed shots. But yeah, I like a combination of both, and super excited for taking more photos with her. And I've got different outfits that I'll wear. I've got like my different princess skirts and my tiaras and my ballet skirts, because I want to really emphasize the tulle and the flowiness and the princess elements. So yeah, that's the aim. So just adding some journaling. I didn't show my whole process journaling. That would be very time consuming, so I just showed a little bit that I am writing in all these spaces where I have left journaling space. I do fill that all up with words, just recording these memories. But yeah, I love being able to stick in a lot of photos and ephemera to first decorate the page. And as I flip the pages through this memory journal for 2025, it's just really easy to have those memories come back to me with those photos. So I love that I can combine words with photos and ephemera, and it's great to have just this one journal where I can keep it all and capture it all. So the next page over here, I'm kind of working across multiple pages. I have these photos of my cat, Keanu. He was sitting in front of my window and the lighting was just great. I really loved his silhouette, and the crystals, one of my crystals was shining beautiful colours. So I was like, oh, I've really got to get the shot. And I took a few different shots, and he turned his head at one point so I could get his profile, and another point, just getting him staring straight out the window so you can see his ears in profile, or in silhouette. And yeah, really happy with those photos. Those will go in my next book as well. See, I'm already planning. This is the thing. I love that even though my next book probably won't be published until 3 years time, because that's how long it takes to create the art, write the words, get the story, take the photos. But I love that I'm starting now. I'm gathering the photos and I'm thinking about the book, and I already have a title, I already have chapters, I already have a concept. My alarm is going off. I've got a meeting coming up, a Zoom call coming up. But yeah, what was I saying? Get distracted by my alarm. Yeah, it's really fun just to plan ahead and know that I've already got photos to work with. So I didn't have anything else really to document on that page photos wise, but I wanted to still fill in a bit of space. So I got some ephemera there. I got some vintage French letters from France that I found on Etsy. And so I got this lovely box of letters, and included was also some extra goodies as well, which was so lovely. And there were these little sticky notes on the package in some of the letters. I went through all the envelopes, and there were some postcards in some of the letters. There were some pressed flowers. There were some photos and other bits and pieces. So that was really great. It was really fun going through all of that. And on some of the pieces, these sticky notes were on them. So I thought, let's just add them to my journal. These are kind of things where I don't have to add them to my journal. They're not super sentimental or meaningful, but I like adding them because it adds interest to my journal, and it reminds me instantly, oh yeah, I got that package from France. And that was very, very exciting. As soon as it arrived, I was like, I couldn't wipe the smile off my face. I love authentic vintage ephemera, and especially from France. That's my absolute favorite. So in the future, I am planning on making some vintage French journals for sure. I've been collecting over the years, all sorts of vintage French ephemera postcards, wine labels, vocabulary cards, invoices, receipts, letters, envelopes, all sorts of different things, script and music paper. And yeah, it's just my favorite thing to be able to combine them all together. And I really want to sit down with a paper and pen and plan these out and do more concept style journals where I put a story to it and create like a character, where it's a French lady's journal of her life, or a stage in her life, and it's just filled with pieces from her life. I really want to be intentional with it, and I've got a vision, and I'm just not quite sure how I'm going to execute it. So that's why I feel like I need to sit down with a paper and pen so I can just really plan it out, what I want to include, how I want to do the layout, what story I want to tell. And yeah, I'm super excited about that. That's probably my big project for the year. So I don't know when I'll ever get around to actually finishing it, but I am planning for it. I'm gathering the supplies for it, and I'm dreaming about it, thinking about it. I've got the vision. I just have to keep researching. I've been saving different photos and flip throughs, anything that inspires me, so I can kind of put it all together into this vision that I have to tell this story in a journal. And I think it might be like a collection, maybe like a family, where each family member keeps a journal, and there'll be the mother and the sister and the aunt, that kind of thing, the cousin, because I've got a lot of postcards that say, happy birthday cousin, or to my lovely sister, or something like that, or happy Mother's Day, and things like that. So I thought that would be really cool to do like a collection of family concept journals where each person kept their own journal, and I've got like made up different occupations for them. One is a librarian, one is a seamstress, one is a musician, these different things based on the supplies that I have. One works in a manufacturing shop, the husband for me, whenever I do these concept journals, is always a mechanic. And yeah, perhaps it could be like a French wife with an English husband. Maybe that would be actually quite cool to do. And like here, I'm just coming up with a story right here on the spot, like, because I've done plenty of English concept journals, but I haven't done a French concept journal before. So if I was to do that story and I wanted to combine it with English ephemera as well, what I could do is have, like, include the husband's family, and they're all English. And her side of the family is all French. So that way I could include both English and French pieces in the journal. So I'm kind of liking this idea. At first I thought it would just all be French, but yeah, I like this kind of broader idea of the family and having all the family members represented in this collection. So yeah, that's kind of my big project for the year that I will continue to work on and envision throughout the year. Okay, yeah, so I got distracted by that idea. So now I am, what have I done? I've stuck on those vintage French pieces, and I just tucked in the little notes that came with the order. As well, I don't need to keep those, but again, I just like having pieces tucked into my journal. And stuck down the photos of Keanu, and then I also stuck down an envelope that came from the lovely Margot. So sweet. Margot actually sent me a surprise in the mail. She sent me a Bella Grace magazine, so very kind of her. So thankful for my fairy godmother. That's my nickname for her. I feel like God has placed her in my life. She's been just an amazing encouragement to me, and every time that I've felt down, I would always get like a message or an email from her, and her words just lifted me up and reminded me, oh, things are still okay. Like, things are okay. She helped me, feel better about myself if I ever got down on myself, self-hatred and feelings of unworthiness. Something that constantly will plague me, I think. I have like my fairy godmother who lifts me up, and she doesn't even know it. Like, when she does, she just sends me a random email out of the blue. And I feel like God knows, like, those things, the things of his timing and his knowledge and his wisdom. I love it. So my fairy godmother, so thoughtful of her to send me Bella Grace, which is a magazine that I absolutely love. I think I might even love it more than Daphne's Diary. And she also sent me an envelope with some goodies inside, some vintage French playing cards and some postcards. So very, very thankful for those treasures. So I hope you enjoyed this journaling video, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. A big, huge special thank you to my beautiful patrons who supported me in the month of February. Thank you so much for believing in me and supporting what I do here on YouTube and with my journaling courses and creative workshops. You mean so much to me. If you would like to become a patron, there is a link down below in the description box, and that's where you get access to all my journal making videos from start to finish, plus behind the scenes updates and announcements. Depending on your tier, you also get access to every single one of my digital kits over on my Patreon, plus mail sent to you, whether it's a printable kit or a happy mail or a journal or a paper pack. Super exciting. If you want to become a member, just click the join button as well, and that lets you become a member of my YouTube channel.